WAD, the wife of a billionaire boss, claimed that she hated men. WAD, in order to let his white moonlight treat his illness, she was determined to divorce me and compensate me with half of my property as alimony. WAD, before he finished speaking, I had already signed the divorce agreement excitedly. WAD, I took the divorce agreement and looked at the amount on it. My heart was pounding. It can't be spent. It can't be spent at all. On the way to the Civil Affairs Bureau, Liu Yuan suddenly turned around. WAD. I covered the signed agreement, fearing that he would regret it. WAV. I won't pay back a penny of alimony. I was a vicious male supporting role in the domineering president's article. I've liked Liu Yuan since I was a child, but Liu Yuan has always hated me. WAV. So I used all means to force her to marry me, and she had to marry me under family pressure. WAV. Later, he rekindled his old love with his white moonlight, and he filed for a divorce with me. WAV. As a divorce compensation, Liu Yuan will give me half of his property, but the original owner loves Liu Yuan so much that he is unwilling to divorce. WAD. He keeps plotting to frame his white moonlight. WAD. In the end, the male protagonist turns the tables and throws me into the sea to feed the sharks. WAV. I combed through the plot in the book. WAD. The original owner is not only a pig brain, but also a brain. WAV. It's so stupid. So if I want to live to 99 years old in good health, I just need to sign obediently while Yuan asks me for a divorce. WAD. In the evening, I sat at the dining table waiting for Yuan to come back from work for dinner. WAD. When I checked the time on my phone for the nth time, Liu Yuan finally came back. WAD. She didn't even look at the dishes on the table and went straight upstairs. I was too lazy to pay attention to her whether she likes to eat or not. I picked up the chopsticks and stuffed the black gold abalone into my mouth. It's so delicious. Liu Yuan is really a wild boar that can't eat fine bran. WAD. She only knows how to eat takeout at the company all day. WAD. After eating, I just went upstairs and met Liu Yuan, who had just taken a shower and was about to go to the study to work. WAV. She was wearing a bathrobe with a pretty face and fair skin, and I was stunned. WAV. Liu Yuan glanced at me and Zhao, come. Take care of your own eyes. I curled my lips and looked at her different face, as if I owed him 20 billion. I just know what abstinence is. That is, looking at people without desire, or Mao Zedong's chairman makes me more excited. Now my life motto is stay away from Liu Yuan and cherish wealth. Liu Yuan and I sleep in separate rooms, and we are not husband and wife. The original owner always went to her ass Liu Yuan in the middle of the night and was thrown out in the end. WAD. His face was so thick that it was outrageous. WAD. The next day I slept until I woke up naturally and then went to the mall for crazy shopping. That was whatever was expensive, and I didn't even look at anything below 100,000. WAD. Of course, I used Liu Yuan's bank card. WAD. The only regret is that I can't swipe her card. It's not my fault. He is too rich. It doesn't matter. Continue tomorrow. Although the original owner is a rich second generation, his parents valued girls over boys and gave all the family property to his sister. WAV. If I want to become a rich man, I can only rely on myself. When I got home, the servant came over and asked me what food I wanted to make for lunch and send it to the company. WAD. Then I remembered that Zhu Xiaotong would send Liu Yuan food every day at noon, but Liu Yuan never ate it and threw it directly into the trash. Shameful waste of food. And why should I put my hot face on his cold? But am I sick? I waved my hand and said, no, I won't go anymore. WAD. After dinner, I received a call from Liu Yuan and had to accompany her to a banquet in the evening. WAD. Liu Yuan hated me, but she still had to act and maintain her superficial skills. WAD. As night fell, Liu Yuan and I came to the dinner scene. WAV. Someone joked, Mr. WAV. G and Miss Liu are really a perfect match, and the baby they give birth to must be very cute. Liu Ruy and took my arm and didn't answer. WAV. I smiled and replied a few polite words casually, but what I thought in my heart was, give birth to a fart. For the whole night, I accompanied Liu Ruy in True Socialize, and my face was almost frozen with laughter, no emotion, all skills. After a while, the flatterers left, and I took the time to drink a glass of juice to moisten my throat and move my sore legs. I was so tired, even professional actors didn't work as hard as I did. When I thought about the money I could get after the divorce, I immediately cheered up. WAV. I looked down at Liu Ruyan, as if I was looking at the glittering RMB. I wonder when we can get a divorce. Half of the property, it's so delicious. Liu Ruyan did a little, but she was still generous, and I liked her a little more every time I looked at her. WAV. Liu Ruyan noticed my gaze, looked up at my starry eyes, frowned and said to me with disgust, Ji Zhaotuan, don't be so delusional that I will fall in love with you. It's impossible in this life. I rolled my eyes and my heart stopped being narcissistic. The only person I love is Chairman Mao. I hope that everyone can scold me in the future and scold me for being poor and only having money left. At the dinner, Liu Ruyan saw a man in a white shirt standing not far away, and that was the male protagonist Lin Yi. I immediately held down my right hand, because according to the original plot, I would rush up and punch Lin. Don't want UAV. I don't want to be beaten, not to mention my face. WAV. I just went to the beauty salon for maintenance in the afternoon, which is very expensive. Liu Ruy and Lin Yi met when they were in college. Although Lin Yi was born in a poor family, he was very handsome, strong, and optimistic. That was this indomitable temperament that attracted Liu Ruyan. WAV. Later, when Liu's mother knew that they were together, she broke up the couple and took 2 million to let Lin Yi go. WAV. Lin Yi didn't take a penny because he couldn't barely use mother's insults, so he broke up with Liu Ruyan, and if it were me, I would have to bargain and agree to it after it rose to 200 million. What's good about the heroine? She has a cold personality, neither gentle nor cute. That is, she looks good. But she can't eat when she looks good. At this time, when he was looking at us stubbornly, with tears in his eyes to be precise, he was looking at Liu Ruyan, because he was extremely sad when he saw me and Liu Ruyan going out together. Don't be sad. The heroine and I are just playing a show. It's not real. Liu Ruyan's face changed drastically, and she ran up quickly, but Lin Yi turned and left. WAV. I watched them perform the plot of he escapes so he chases, and he can't fly away even if he has wings, and I almost wanted to move a small stool to watch this novel. Is a sweet pet text. The sweet pet characters are the male and female protagonists, and I'm just a scrap. Liu Ruyan still caught up with Lin Yi and held his hand. WAV. Lin Yi turned his face and ignored him deliberately. Ruyan explained anxiously, and then the two hugged each other tightly. WAV. In the end, they walked away hand in hand, completely forgetting my existence. WAV. Ruyan is really an infatuated person. WAZ. If I wasn't the one who was cheated, I would definitely applaud them. As soon as I turned around and prepared to take a taxi, I met a deep gaze. It was Liu A. Liu Ruyan's sister, is the heir of the Liu group and has a cold personality. WAV. Looking at his cold and indifferent face, I seemed to suddenly understand. Their stinky faces may be hereditary. I called out in a proper manner, Boss Liu. Liu Ruyan looked at me and said, Your wife left you and went with another man. Doesn't she look sad at all? Of course not sad. I am no longer the love-brain person I used to be. WAV. Now I just want to divorce Liu Ruyan, take half of his property, and become a rich man who eats and waits for death. I lowered my head and sighed. What can I do if I'm sad? It's hard for the god of wealth to help me. Liu Ruyan looked at me for a long time before saying, I'll take you back. WAD. Liu Ruyan had already left. WAV. It was really inconvenient to take a taxi here, so I'll trouble Boss Liu. The car was silent on the road, and Liu Ruyan opened the door for me personally when we arrived. WAV. I was about to thank her when a shadow fell on my head. WAV. I looked up and looked at her beautiful face so close to me. WAV. I stopped breathing and my heartbeat quickened. WAV. To be honest, Liu is only 3 years older than YUYN, but she is more mature and stable than her. WAV. She looks difficult to get along with, so I always keep my distance from her. Dog. Could she be attracted to me? I don't remember this plot in the book. Liu Yue said calmly, go to bed early. I breathed a sigh of relief. WAV. Why are you so close to me when you can just talk? Thank you, Mr. WAV. Liu, for sending me back. In the next few days, Liu Yuy and I got along well because he was busy dating Lin Yi, and I was busy going shopping in the mall during the day and attending auctions at night to create more wealth in a limited time. Until that night when Liu Yuy came home from get off work and saw the leftovers on the table, she was stunned. WAV. Before, no matter how late he came back, Xiaoqin would wait for him to eat together. WAV. After licking the caviar on the corner of my lips, I said, if you haven't eaten yet, ask the kitchen to make it again. WAV. By the way, I can have some midnight snack later. Then I stood up and prepared to go to the home theater to watch TV series. WRUY and asked, I like shopping recently. I paused. WAA. Is he worried about his money? Do you think I've been spending too much money recently? Liu Yuy said coldly, no, don't put the things you buy randomly. WAV. We have our own cloakroom mess. WAU. But next door, Liu Yuy probably saw that I threw all the things I bought on the ground. He has not only a mysophobia, but also obsessive compulsive disorder, and he can't stand things being thrown around. WAV. Okay, I'll put it away later. WAV. Suddenly thinking of something, I looked at him and said, then can you please not throw your own socks around? You even threw them at my doorstep once. Liu Yuan's face darkened. When will it be your turn to teach me how to do this? Who do you think you are? Okay, you're the only one who's a piece of shit. I didn't argue with him and said, by the way, I'm going to Mall Ice for vacation. Liu's mother will soon find out that Liu Yuan and Lin, you're still connected, and she will ask me to be WAE. The owner of the garden was jealous to begin with and wanted to kill Ingyi. WAP, with the authorization of Yu's mother, he became even more desperate. Lin Yi is the male lead, and he has the aura of a protagonist. WAB. Who am I to deal with him? I just want to be a jerk, and going on vacation to avoid the limelight is my best choice. Liu, are you why and didn't object? WAV. He never cared about me as long as I didn't bother him. That when I was in the Maldives, enjoying the sun and looking at the beautiful women with good figures, I received a call from Liu, who asked me to go back immediately. WRUY several times in my heart. Can't you be careful not to be discovered by your mother? I haven't seen enough beauties here, but I still booked a flight back. WAV. As soon as I got home, I received a call from Liu Yuan, Zhao Chen. You know very well that the person I lease. Let's get a divorce. I held down my thumping heartbeat. I was not so excited when I was reincarnated. I pretended to be calm and said, okay, I agreed readily. Liu Yuan was silent on the other end. WAV. I was afraid that he didn't hear what I said because the signal was not good. So I reminded him, are you ready for the divorce agreement? Liu Yuan asked. Do you agree to divorce? I sighed. There is no way to disagree. You don't love me. Liu Yuan said, I will ask assistant to send the agreement over later. WAD. The family knew about it. WAD. As the assistant of the president, the efficiency of work is naturally beyond doubt. WAV. Half an hour later, I took the divorce agreement and looked at the amount on it. My heart was pounding. I counted and my fingers cramped. I couldn't spend it all. I cut my lower lip hard. Hiss, it hurts. I'm not dreaming, it's real. I signed my name quickly and handed it to Liu Yuan's assistant with trembling hands, assistant with trembling hands, assistant with trembling hands, assistant with trembling hands, assistant with... Ask your boss if I can get the divorce certificate right now. WAV. I hummed a little tune and went upstairs to change clothes. WAV. When I went downstairs, the assistant looked at me and was surprised again because I was dressed younger and more handsome than the day I got the certificate. I smiled. WAV, I will become a super rich man soon, and I still have to have a sense of ceremony. After getting in the car, Liu looked me up and asked, "Are you in a good mood?" The corners of my lips that were wildly raised froze slightly, and I turned my head to look at him, thinking, I have never received a trace of true love from you. So what's wrong with giving me the wealth of the world? But the divorce certificate has not been obtained yet. I can't be too ostentatious. And I looked at him with great pity. WYN said coldly, "It must be divorced. That must be divorced." Then I feel relieved. After a while, he asked again, "Divorce agreement. Do you have anything else to add?" I smiled. "No, I am quite satisfied." However, my good mood did not last for 10 minutes before it was destroyed. There was a traffic jam at the pit. I kept urging the driver that my did not last for 10 at the critical moment. I kept urging the driver to drop the James Duraster. What the people from the Civil Affairs Bureau, they gave a reasonable explanation. You might give a any more, and me strangely, and I gave a reasonable explanation. You are Eva reason that the traffic was stuck for a long time. Seeing that the traffic was stuck for a long time, I was anxious and got WAD. I'm in a hurry to get a divorce. WAV, it's urgent, don't you understand? The brother in the car glanced at me. I've seen people getting divorced, but I've never seen someone in such a hurry to get a divorce as me. When I got back to the car, I saw Ryan on the phone. His brows were furrowed as if something had happened. After hanging up the phone, he told the driver, "Don't go to the Civil Affairs Bureau, go to the old house." In an instant, I felt terrible. "Damn Ryan, if you dare to go back on your word, do you believe I will water the money tree in front of your company to death?" On second thought, no, I still hope that he will make more money so that I can get more. When we arrived at the old house, it turned out that Liu's mother knew that Rui and wanted to divorce me, and she fainted in anger. Double UAV. Liu's father scolded Liu Ryan. WAV. I stood by unsaid nothing. My eyes were amused by my pinching. Liu Rym was determined to divorce me and refused to compromise. I was also determined to take half of his property, so I could only continue to pretend to be uncomfortable. In the end, Liu Rym knelt directly at the door, trying to use this method to make the elders of the Liu family agree to our divorce. A good idea. Coincidentally, it started to rain heavily. WAV, I was happy God really helped me. The servant ran to me and said, "Son-in-law, the old lady asked you to persuade the second lady." I nodded solemnly. "I know." 10 minutes later, I sat on the steps eating melon seeds, looking at the woman kneeling in the rain, and said twice, "Filming an idle drama, Sister Lydia." The servant couldn't stand it anymore and wanted to hold and stand it, and it's kneeling an idle drama. Sister Lydia, the servant couldn't stand it anymore and wanted to hold an umbrella for him, but I stopped him. How can they be soft-hearted if it's not miserable enough? After a rich was used lady, and she got sick after just a few. Go and get me a cup of tea. Go and get me a cup of tea. I looked at the thermometer. It was only 38 degrees. No one would die. Then I sent the servant out, looked at Ryn, who was leaning against the head of the bed with a kale face, and kindly poured her a glass of water. "If you want a divorce quickly, you need to work harder." Ryn coughed a few times, looked at me and asked, "What do you mean to act?" Gave Ryn a trick and asked him to go on a hunger strike. This trick really worked. They gave Ryn a trick and asked him to go on a hunger strike. This trick really worked. WAV. Mother Liu felt guilty about me, pulled me into her room, and gave me an imperial green ornaments. He has always been very generous to me and often gave me various valuables. WAV. I cried and hugged her eyes, shouting, "Mom, I can't bear to leave you. I can't bear to leave your valuables. If it doesn't work, you can just accept me as your godson." Coming down from upstairs, I met Liu Wei. "Don't you feel bad to see Ryn like this?" I have no time to feel bad for her, so I might as well feel bad for myself. UAV. I haven't eaten the bird's nest today. Anyway, Liu and I are about to divorce, and I'm too lazy to pretend to be affectionate. WAD. I shrugged and said, "Love brain is not a terminal disease. I have cured it." Liu smiled, and I panicked immediately. WAE. I had never seen her smile before, and there wasn't much description of Liu Yue in the book, so I didn't know much about her. As I was talking, I heard a noise outside. WAD. I went out and saw that it was Lin Yi. WAD. He was standing outside the door and clamoring to see you. Ruyani don't like to break up a couple, so I asked the servant to let him in. WAE. Lin Yi looked at me. Yara and I have known each other for a long time. I didn't interfere in your marriage. I nodded. Of course you didn't. You are the male protagonist in a cool novel, and you can cheat all the way. And I, a vicious male supporting role, will be scolded as shit even if I do nothing. WAD. It's so funny. I must be crazy to disagree. Only you treat Yuan as a treasure. I nodded yes. Then I took Lin Yi upstairs, but Lin Yi missed a step and fell backwards. WAV, he screamed, and it was too late for me to reach out to pull him. WAV. I was so scared that my right eyelid twitched violently when I saw Lin Yi rolling down the stairs and lying on the ground with a pool of blood under him. I remembered a plot in the book where I deliberately pushed Lin Yi down the stairs, but I didn't push him. WAV. I'm really grateful. In the hospital, Lin Yi was still in the emergency room. WUI and exuded a gloomy atmosphere and stared at me with eyes that wished she could tear me into pieces. I was more wrong than do. Jijiao Kai at AE is okay, otherwise I will make you pay back 1,000 times. Are you still human? Forgot who poured water for you when you were sick? But when I thought of the owner's miserable fate, my back went cold and I subconsciously shrank back to the corner. I even thought the style of coffin. I didn't. Liu and glared at me. Zhizhao Paul. That voice interrupted Liu Yuan's words. WAD. I turned my head and looked at Liu Yue, who fell from the sky. General Manager Liu, help me. At this time, the door of the operating room opened, and the doctor came out to say that Lin Yi had a concussion and a broken right leg and needed to be hospitalized. WAD. Liu Yuan was so nervous that she had no time to pay attention to me. WAV. When Lin Yi woke up, Liu Yuan asked, did Zhizhao come push you down the stairs? Lin Yi glanced at me. Lin Yi lowered his eyelids, and his voice was weak but clear. I accidentally stepped on the air. Yuan was stunned in place. His fingers tightly grasped the bed sheet, and his knuckles turned white. WAV. My heart finally settled down. WAV. Although I didn't understand why the male protagonist who had always been against me suddenly excused me, I just wanted to escape from this depressing atmosphere. WAV. The next morning, Liu Yuan and Undai appeared at the Civil Affairs Bureau on time. The moment the red book was changed to a green book, I almost laughed out loud. I finally waited for this day. When Yuan pushed the bank card to me, her fingertips trembled slightly. This is what you deserve. WAV. I took the card and felt cold, but I couldn't resist the heat in my heart. The 7-digit balance was jumping on the mobile phone screen. This is the real sense of security. Life after divorce can be described as luxurious. Private yachts go out to sea, Michelin restaurants subscribed monthly, unlimited edition sports cars are driven in turn. WAD. One day when I was picking emeralds in a jewelry store, I accidentally ran into Yuan on Lin Yi. WAD. The two stood in front of the couple's ring counter, and Liu Yuan's expression was so gentle that water could drip out. She had never looked at me with such eyes before. WAD. Mr. G, does this ring need to be packaged for you? The voice of the shopping guide interrupted my thoughts. WAD. I pointed to the pigeon egg diamond ring in the window. No, just swipe the card. I caught a glimpse of Liu Yuan's surprised expression when she turned around, and I was secretly happy in my heart. You used to ignore me, but now I'm out of your reach. I returned to the villa halfway up the mountain late at night, but ran into Yue, who was soaking wet at the entrance. WAD. Her hair was dripping with water, and her suit jacket was tightly attached to her body. WAV. Her usually cold aura now added a bit of fragility. WAD. It's raining, and I didn't bring an umbrella. WAV. She said briefly, but her eyes were fixed on my face. WAD. I was stunned and quickly moved aside to let her in. WAD. When I took the towel handed to me by the servant, my fingertips touched her cold wrist, and I clenched it as if possessed by a ghost. Go take a hot bath first. Don't catch a cold. Double UAV. She lowered her eyes to look at me with water droplets on her eyelashes and suddenly chuckled. Mr. WAG. G cares about me so much, the atmosphere instantly became ambiguous. WAG. My Adam's apple rolled and I turned my face away. After all, you are my boss. WAG. Before I finished speaking, she suddenly came close, and the scent of cedar perfume mixed with rain hit my face. Just the boss? As my breaths intertwined, my phone suddenly vibrated. It was a message from Liu Ruyan. Lingyi proposed to me. WAG. I stared at the screen and chuckled, and pushed Liu Yue against the wall with my backhand. WAG. Her pupils shrank suddenly, but she did not push me away, and her fingertips hooked my tie. Thunder exploded outside the window, and I heard my accelerated heartbeat. Liu Yui's hoarse voice. Do you regret the divorce? No regrets. WAD. I bit her Urlobi, but I regret not finding out earlier. WAD. You make my heart beat faster than money. WAD. She suddenly laughed, put her arm around my neck, and her lips and teeth were filled with the coolness of rain and the warmth of wine. Mr. WAD. G. Welcome to join the Liu group. WAD. And my life. WAD. 3 days later, at Liu Ruyan's engagement party, I attended Liu Yue in a high-profile manner. WAD. She was wearing a high-end red dress, and the diamond ring on her ring finger was 2 circles bigger than the pigeon egg ring that Liu Ruyan had worn back then. WAD. This is my wife, Liu Yue. WAZ. I put my arm around her waist and handed her a gift box. In front of everyone's shocked eyes, inside was the imperial green ornament that Liu's mother gave me back then. I heard that my sister is getting engaged, so I'm just showing my appreciation. Ruyan's face turned pale instantly, and Lin Yi clenched his fists and was about to rush over, but was frightened by Liu Yui's cold eyes. WAD. She opened the champagne elegantly, and the light golden liquid rippled in the crystal glass. I wish you too. WAD. A long-lasting marriage. WAD. The ending tone was light and carried an imperceptible sarcasm. WAD. I was lying on Yui's lap and browsing my phone, and suddenly I saw Ruyan's circle of friends. Some love. If you miss it, it will never come back. WAD. The accompanying picture was a sapphire necklace I gave her before proposing to her. WAD. I chuckled and put my arm around Yui's waist. Do you regret marrying me? Her fingertips brushed my collarbone, shining coldly in the moonlight. No regret. WAD. But she suddenly turned over and pressed on me, her red lips slightly parted. Mr. WADG. Should the future property dividends be calculated in a different way? I looked at the flickering candlelight in her eyes and suddenly remembered Liu Ruyan's tears on the day of the divorce. WAV. It turns out that some misses are gifts from fate, for example. Now, the woman in my arms is biting my Urlobi and laughing, and the phone notification sounded at the right time. Your account with the last number XXXXX has received 131,452,000 yuan. WAV. Outside the window, the rainstorm has just stopped, and the neon lights are bright. WAV. I kissed the wind stains on Liu Yui's lips and finally understood, compared with forcing tenderness from someone you don't love, holding the hand of the person in front of you is the real wealth and honor.